there has been some stellar indie RPGs that have released throughout 2025. Starlight Legacy and Geomythica have been two of my absolute favorites that released this year. Now, it's time to add Quartet to that list. But where does it belong? Is it number one? That's what I'm here to tell you all about. First and foremost, let's start with the story, which revolves around the power of magic within the world, and you're essentially trying to shape the future of how it's used. Quartet is very story heavy, and there's very little I can say beyond the basic premise without spoiling some of its key moments, twists and turns, which would all ultimately ruin some of the enjoyment you would get from experiencing it firsthand. After a brief tutorial chapter, you'll then have the option to play as any one of 4 different characters. This allows the player some choice, but in the end you will need to play all 4 anyways to progress the story, but it's cool to have a choice here, and it gives you some time to become familiar with each of the main protagonists before the eventual connection of their stories. Each character is incredibly well written, with unique personalities and roles they'll play within your party. The bulk of Quartet is fairly linear and felt akin to Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, with how the first dozen or so hours will play. Enemies are easily visible in the world, so there's no random battles, which take place in typical turn-based fashion, with the turn order being clearly displayed on the screen so you can plan your moves accordingly. The level up system is very basic, as each character earns new spells and abilities at certain intervals, so there's no character customization beyond their equipment. But eventually, the game opens up, allowing you to explore in your airship, take on side quests to learn even more about each of the 8 total characters, and power up your party before the eventual finale. The last thing I want to mention is how much I love RPGs with 16-bit era pixel art. It's masterfully done, and it's complemented nicely by an absolute banger of a soundtrack. There's good soundtracks, and then there's great. Quartet has a great soundtrack because not only are all the tunes a treat to listen to, but they also perfectly match the environment that you're in or the tone of the story if something serious is happening. Quartet checks all the boxes, in my opinion, for what it takes to create a masterpiece. Simply put, Quartet is my favorite indie RPG that I've played so far in 2025. It's an absolute must-play from start to finish, so go. Go play this game now.